best of high-end.
Experience the beauty of audio and video.
Yes. RoomPerfect is the result of many years of thinking into compensation for your room acoustics. And why was I interested in that? Well, I have a lot of retail shops, and I've been selling loudspeakers, and I've been designing loudspeakers and amplifiers and all of that with my engineers for many years. And whenever I went out to see customers, which I like to do a lot, I was always kind of shocked to hear that our DALI speaker, for instance, sounded completely different and not quite the way it was supposed to sound when I come home to people. And of course, people are quite happy, but I know it can be better. So I always wanted to make something available where normal people can get the optimum sound in their own house. And one of the things that people don't realize is that if they buy the best speaker in the world and put it in a normal living room, about 85% of the sound they hear is coming from the room. Speaker is 15% of the sound, the room is 85%. And those 85% typically, they are not so good. So when you can digitally compensate in the correct way, we can actually make sure that if you buy a BMW speaker or DALI speaker or a really good loudspeaker, it will sound the best that that speaker can sound in your own room. And that is really what matters. You know, in practical terms, most people cannot put exactly the speakers where they want to have them because they have a wife, they have children, they have, you know, a real life to live. So they cannot put the speakers exactly in the sweet spot and so on. They cannot put the sofa in exactly the sweet spot and move it away 2.5 meters from the rear wall and so on. It just doesn't work for people. But with a good room compensation technology, you can make virtually every room work so that every speaker works the best possible way in a room. And you can have the speaker close to the wall, you can sit close to the wall and get a fantastic sound. It's interesting when we go to different hi-fi shows, people always say, "Oh, you're so lucky with your room." No, we're not lucky. We designed RoomPerfect to take care of the room. So our room is as shitty as everybody else's room, but we have RoomPerfect, we can fix it. So that is really the big trick. And the RoomPerfect was actually I think the fourth iteration of room compensation technology. And it was a total departure from everything we'd done before, because we typically, in the beginning, just made one measurement, and we looked at the response, and the system would compensate for that measurement, the frequency response that you would see. But then we realized that what you see in a single frequency response from a microphone is totally different from what you're hearing when you sit there in the room, because the sound comes at different times. It is not a minimum phase, it's this system. It is 85% excess phase. So a measurement that you look at is totally meaningless. And it was only when we understood that what you hear and what you measure from a single microphone position is two completely different things. That's also why when you do RoomPerfect, you as a user, you don't know what is happening. The only thing you know that is after you do RoomPerfect, the speakers sound exactly like it's supposed to sound, and you don't think about all your room problems anymore. What happens in between is a hugely complex process that we spent probably around $8 to $9 million to perfect the technology around. One of the things we developed for that is completely new measurement technologies, never been used before, where we immune to noise in the measurements and so on. So 3 days ago we set up one of our multi-channel processors when they had a cocktail party in the same room, and everybody said, "Oh, now we have to leave the room, right?" No, you can stay on. Don't yell and scream, but you can keep your party going while we make the measurement. It doesn't affect the measurement. Completely fantastic technology.
Best of High End.
Experience the beauty of audio and video
Sign up for free
at bestofhighend.com.